Once upon a time, millions of years ago, there was a path in the tropical rainforest. A path between the Northern Sea and the Southern Sea that one day was forged into a canal. But let's take a glimpse back in time. In 1513, during the Spanish conquest of the Americas, the indigenous people of the area guided Vasco Núñez de Balboa through that path right up to the Southern Sea. This was the first time a European ever sighted the Pacific Ocean. The advantages of establishing a transit route through the Isthmus of Panama became evident immediately, and the first permanent Spanish mainland settlement of the American continent was established on Panama's Pacific coast. As the years went by, the path became a golden route. Between 1531 and 1660, 60% of all the gold that was shipped to Spain from the New World crossed the Isthmus of Panama. In 1821, Panama declared its independence from Spain, and following the leadership and vision of the liberator Simón Bolívar, it decided to voluntarily join the Greater Colombia. During the 1848 gold rush, the path became a popular route for those who were moving to California to pursue their fortunes. In view of the global economic and strategic potential of the route, and after signing an agreement with Colombia, in 1880, France began the construction of a sea-level canal through Panama. Ferdinand de Lesseps, the legendary builder of the Suez Canal, undertook the venture of uniting the Northern Sea and the Southern Sea. In other words, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. After 20 years of arduous work and struggling with an inhospitable climate, an unyielding jungle, and against diseases and financial difficulties, the French abandoned the titanic undertaking. On November 3, 1903, Panama declared its separation from Colombia, and 15 days later, it signed a treaty with the United States for the construction of an interoceanic canal. Over 45,000 men and women, most of them from the West Indies, worked for 10 years on a project of colossal dimensions. And on August 15, 1914, the Panama Canal was opened, bringing to a successful conclusion the years of effort to unite the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It was then that the path became a canal. As of 1914, the United States operated and administered the canal, while exercising control over the areas immediately adjacent to the waterway. However, right from the moment the 1903 treaty was signed, Panamanians demanded the recognition of their sovereign rights over the whole territory of the Republic. The most critical point in the relationship between both nations was reached on January 9, 1964, when Panamanian students raised the flag in the zone under U.S. jurisdiction. This incident triggered riots that resulted in a tragic outcome for Panamanians. Finally, the Torrijos-Carter treaties were signed in 1977, acknowledging Panama's sovereignty and stipulating the transfer of canal administration to the Republic of Panama on December 31, 1999. Once under Panamanian stewardship, the canal faced the challenge of increasing the profitability of its operation. This was required to generate revenues for the country, while addressing the increasing demand for its services. This astonishing engineering feat has 3 locks: Gatun locks on the Atlantic side, and Pedro Miguel and Miraflores on the Pacific. These locks operate as water elevators that raise the ship from sea level, either on the Pacific or the Atlantic, to the level of Gatun Lake, 26 meters above sea level, in their transit of the channel through the Continental Divide. It's important to highlight that all this operation is done under the principles of the law of gravity. The Panama Canal works around the clock. It's estimated that between 35 and 40 vessels transit the 80-kilometer waterway every single day, in a journey that takes approximately 8 to 10 hours. From 1914 to the present, the canal has recorded more than 1 million transits. Every day, the need to expand the operating infrastructure of the waterway became more evident. Bigger locks were required to accommodate bigger ships, the post-Panamax vessels. After several years of thorough analysis, the canal expansion proposal was presented to the country and approved by Panamanians in a national referendum. Works under the expansion program were officially started on September 3, 2007, in the area of Paraíso, located on the banks of the canal. The project includes the building of 2 new sets of locks, one on the Pacific and the other on the Atlantic side, capable of handling more and bigger ships. The new locks will have sliding gates. In order to save water and guarantee the future conservation of its resources, water reutilization basins will be used. Canal expansion, which is being executed under the highest and strictest environmental, conservation, and protection standards, will generate new direct and indirect jobs and will promote new investments. These factors will encourage multiple and various economic activities under the umbrella of modernization, the transfer of technology, and the improvement of the quality of life in the country. The canal is an attraction due to its modern and grand engineering works, and also for the efficiency and thoroughness of its operation, which results from the talent and dedication of the country. When we accepted the challenge of taking over the canal, we also committed ourselves to doing it better every day. And so it has been done. Panama is a small country with big dreams. It is a country that is proud of its men and women, who are confident about their future and who have a very special responsibility to keep the waterway operating to facilitate international trade. Because this is the Panama Canal, the world's